The Chicago Bears just wrapped up day 2 of training camp. Caleb Williams is finally starting to find his groove. The Bears offense is making plays, but the defense is also making plays. And reports out of Bears camp is that the offense and defense seem to be evenly matched. Before I get into specific plays, out of the players who did participate, Braxton Jones and TJ Edwards were limited for a second straight day. Mercedes Lewis and Simba Webster, who's kind of a practice squad wide receiver, neither of them did not practice, and Noah Sewell also did not practice. Rome Odunze was back after attending a family funeral yesterday, but the Bears are just ramping him up, so he didn't practice with the team, but he was out there for training camp. As far as my video yesterday, I said Ryan Bates got all of the starting snaps with, or he got all the snaps with the starting unit yesterday. Today, Sheldon Coleman is got all of the first team snaps. So the Bears are rotating centers. I think it is a full ongoing open competition. Yesterday, I said that I thought Bates would be the starter, but kind of forgot that during OTAs, the Bears had mentioned that they're going to keep rotating them in because they want Caleb Williams to be used to either center. You don't want Caleb to get too comfy with just one center and then he goes down and now Caleb's with a brand new center. And offensive coordinator Shane Waldron said that Caleb Williams is perfectly comfortable with either center. So both Shelton Coleman and Ryan Bates both competing for starting center, and Caleb Williams is comfortable with either. So getting into some of the fun stuff, they said that the biggest play out of the day was Caleb Williams throwing a deep ball to Tyler Scott. I love to hear that Tyler Scott is potentially making strides in a year too, right? So if the Bears weren't able to land a Keenan Allen, you know, we might be looking at Tyler Scott as our wide receiver 3 right now. Or potentially if we did get Keenan Allen and we weren't able to land Rome Odunze. However it could have went, we were one move away from Tyler Scott being the Bears wide receiver 3, immediately replacing Darnell Mooney, who the Bears lost to the Atlanta Falcons. So either way, injuries do happen. Keenan Allen has a pretty extensive injury history. Last year, he played the majority of games, but he did miss some. Rome Odunze doesn't seem to be injury prone, but he did have a little hammy issue during OTAs. And, you know, it's the NFL. You never know what happens. DJ Moore is an Iron Man, knock on wood. He never misses time with injuries, but you never know. So with Tyler Scott emerging and making plays in camp, he has blazing speed. One of his biggest problems was tracking the ball, but it sounds like Caleb Williams led him on a deep ball today, perfectly placed, and Tyler Scott actually ended up not diving, but really had to, you know, reach out for the ball. So that's good to hear that Tyler Scott's ball tracking skills are improving. And even if injuries don't happen, just to have 4 weapons on the offense is just, you know, more the merrier. So I love to hear that. Caleb Williams threw a pass at one point during 2-minute drills, and Tyrique Stevenson came flying in, kind of slid and scooped the interception. So Tyrique Stevenson, year 2 cornerback who struggled early on in his rookie season, but developed towards the end, especially after the Bears got Montez Sweat. Sounds like the Bears defense is just absolutely ball hawking. Offensive coordinator Shane Waldron said that Caleb Williams threw a great ball, but Tyrique Stevenson just played better defense. And I mean, you hear it all the time, iron sharpens iron. So the fact that Caleb gets to go against such a great defensive secondary every single day at practice, and vice versa, the secondary gets to face a talented arm with Caleb and a bunch of elite wide receivers. So great to hear that both sides are making plays. Now, the reports out of camp from today's practice have been that Caleb was a little bit up and down. He was had a connection with DJ Moore, also had a little bit of an overthrow to Cole Kmet. So it's not perfect. It's not like Caleb Williams is out here just completely lighting it up, but it's day 2. It's the second day of camp. This is a lot different than when I covered Bears training camp last summer, when Justin Fields was heading into his 3rd season, and a lot of us were hoping he was going to take a leap. This year, we're covering a rookie quarterback starting from scratch. So the expectations obviously are high for Caleb Williams coming out of the gate, but as far as camp expectations, I mean, there are none, right? He's just now getting started. Now, if he's struggling right now and he continues to struggle through camp and he continues to struggle into preseason, then that's when you can maybe start to question how is this team going to look going into the season. But so far, it seems like Caleb is holding his weight. Offensive coordinator Shane Waldron said that Caleb it's like night and day. He's so much more evolved from OTAs till now. So it sounds like Caleb put his head in the playbook and is completely commanding the offense like a veteran right now. That's just everything that you want to hear coming out from the early days of camp. The Bears are 11 days away from the first preseason game with the Texans. I'm not quite sure if Caleb is going to play, but Shane Waldron said that he's going to play in preseason, kind of a blanket statement, saying that he needs those reps. Obviously, I believe we would all agree with that Caleb definitely needs as many reps as possible before we head into the season. But with the extra preseason game, I'm not 100% sure if he will play in the Hall of Fame game, and if he does, how much. Will it be 1 series, 2 series, or more than expected? That is yet to be seen. Since there are no pads, we're not going to get a lot from the defensive line or offensive line, and especially the running backs as well, because you're not really going to be able to practice the running game without pads. But Shane Waldron said that the running backs did a great job becoming receiving backs, which, you know, that's just the way that his offense runs. He wants a guy who Caleb can lean on dumping off out of the backfield, which has been a weakness for the Bears for some years, ever since Tariq Cohen got hurt. So with the addition of DeAndre Swift and Roschon Johnson, you know, coming along as a year 2 back, it seems like the Bears are a lot more confident with their ability to have their running backs, I guess, operate out of the passing game. And Khalil Herbert, Shane Waldron didn't drop any names, but Khalil Herbert has had the weakness of receiving out of the backfield. But, you know, maybe the Bears just haven't practiced as much in the past with him doing that. So hopefully Khalil can get going. He's on the final year of his contract, so we'll see what that running back room looks like. Obviously, we are paying they're paying DeAndre Swift starter money, so he's going to be the main guy, and it's really up to Roschon Johnson to claw his way into minutes, and Khalil Herbert, it's up to him to not lose minutes to Roschon Johnson. But either way, it's a good sign for the Bears fans that they have pretty much a 3-headed monster at back. So overall, it seems like the practices are going great. You don't want to hear that one side is completely dominating the other. You don't want to hear that Caleb Williams is extremely struggling, throwing a bunch of interceptions, doing a bunch of incompletions. You don't want to hear that Caleb Williams is picking apart the defense, because that's the last thing our defense wants, is to be picked apart by a rookie quarterback. This defense is primed to be a top 5 or a top 10, potentially top 5 defense in the NFL. So it seems like so far, 2 days in, everything is going according to plan. We have pads coming up. I think probably by the end of this week, pads will be on. The first open practice where fans are able to watch is July 26th. I believe that's a Friday. So overall, stay tuned. If you enjoyed this video and you're enjoying my breakdowns, I'll be here all camp, so I would greatly appreciate it if you would just drop a like and subscribe. It greatly helps with the YouTube algorithm hit as camp is underway. So with all that being said, go ahead and click on the next video, and I'll see y'all there.